DJ PK and David Locke joins us now, radio voice of the Utah Jazz. David, good morning.
A Friday morning from New York City, getting to talk to the greatest DJ and PK, completing a fabulous week, coming off a win, and just being around the artistry of the two of you and inspiration. I'll go to the Met today. I will head over to the Rockefeller. I will go to the Guggenheim. None of them will have artists to the level of the two of you.
You lay it on so thick every week when you come on. It really is unbelievable.
The Guggenheim.
That's what I thought, too, the Guggenheim.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's a museum.
Ooh, museum.
David, watching that Nets game in the first half, I'm really curious what the young guys know and what they don't know. There were so many possessions, it felt like what you have referred to on multiple times is my turn basketball, my turn to get a shot. There were either 0 or 1 passes. There were guys dribbling, not going anywhere. I mean, I'm paid to watch the game, so I'm going to sit there and watch it. But my gosh, if Jazz fans got up and either turned it off or turned the channel or at least walked out of the room to clear their head, I don't blame them. In the fourth quarter, though, the ball moved. And they scored 42 points. At what point does it click that there's a way they need to play? And when they play that way, things will go pretty well.
Well, I think there's a little more to it here than that.
Okay.
So the Jazz came out, and the way the Nets usually play is that the Nets play their bigs very high on the pick and roll. And so with Filipowski starting, the Jazz opened the game playing a high pick and roll game, which they don't usually play, and getting Filipowski the ball in the pocket, and then Kyle was going to make a decision out of that. And if you recall, in those first few plays, the Jazz got a baseline dunk for Ace Bailey, and they got a baseline dunk for Lauri Markkanen. And at that point, Jordi Fernandez abandoned the defense that he usually plays. And so there was suddenly the entire game plan the Jazz had didn't fit for what the Nets were doing anymore. And so the recognition at that point is, okay, they're now switching everything 1 through 5, and we've got to go find, the original reaction was, okay, we got to go find the matchup. We got to go find the spot where we're trying to exploit people. And that slowed them down, got them a little out of kilter, got them a little, stagnant as you're talking about. But there was a reason. And as the game went on, then they went over and kind of abused Yegor and went after specific matchups and got to them a little quicker and recognized the personnel of who they were trying to go find. And I just think it takes maybe a younger team longer, but it does take some time for that to happen in a game. And so that's truly what happened. That's kind of the progression of what happened last night.
Keyonte George, has there been a backcourt player play for the Jazz this much confidence since Darren Williams?
Nope.
Simple
He's
as that.
great right now.
Yeah, he really is.
I mean, he's really great right now. It's cool. It's a franchise game changer, frankly. I think it's probably being underplayed how important it is.
Not in my mind.
Then, I would expect nothing less from Picasso. So
I want his autograph.
Back to the Guggenheim.
But thank you for catching the reference there. You can tell.
Well, we ought to have the Goo Goo Dolls as the band of the day, so that kind of goes in with Guggenheim.
Nice. And you can let DJ at the commercial break. You can let PK know who Pablo Picasso played for. Okay.
Okay.
He's a coach RSL, isn't he?
Yeah, there you go. So I think, hey, yes, on Keyonte. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's a massively huge deal for us that he's a bona fide NBA player, possibly top 10 guard, point guard, lead guard in the NBA right now. Like, he's still got a ways to go. He's shooting 33% from 3, but that seems to be upticking. His rim finishing is elite. He's going to the free throw line 8 times a game. It's pretty fabulous.
So you think they'll keep the mentality, I haven't arrived? Every player, as they improve, if they think they have arrived, I start to get nervous. Even if they have arrived, they need to lie to themselves. Jordan lied to himself, you can lie to yourself. How much confidence do you have in that? Because it is something when you look up and you start seeing your scoring average move over 20 points a game, you start to see yourself among league leaders. And we all know there are players who score 20 points a game, but it doesn't lead to enough winning.
So I think there's two. I mean, I think you're touching on probably the next step in his development, right? How do you? But here's what I thought was so great last night, and he's done this a few times this year. Is he let that? He wasn't great all night, right? And by the end of the night, he's got 29. He's kind of he's not forcing the game like with this urgency of, oh dear God, what's going wrong? There's been plenty of nights where he doesn't have great quarters, and then he is able to make the next steps to kind of work through the game, and by the end of the night, he's got a full box score. And I think that understanding might be the most important thing he's picked up here recently. The other step is what you're talking about. It's like, okay, well, now you're established, and there's an expectation to you every night, and how do you deal with that? And I think that'll be interesting to watch. This has all been pretty fascinating. He was not very good last year. Like, there was a real – like, if you'd asked me at the end of last year if I thought Keyonte George was going to be a bona fide NBA player, I would have wavered. It's not that – I actually would have said yes, but I wouldn't have said it with a great deal of zest. I thought he just had – we'd seen the skills. We'd seen pieces. There were things in there that made you believe – but, boy, you were taking a leap if you were really believing, if you were being honest about it. You were projecting something you hadn't seen yet. And so to see him make this stride right now, it's pretty great. Like, this is what these are the rebuilding victories that you go through. And to watch him do it right now is pretty interesting to watch. And it's interesting to me at the exact same time Walker did it, right? It's between year 2 and year 3. The other one, by the way, if you go back and look at that draft class, Keyonte is going to turn out to be a pretty big win in that draft class.
Agreed. Yeah, I think he already is.
I think you need to take a bow, David, because you said Keyonte has 3 doors. Which one is he going to walk through? And there's a door everyone was rooting for, but you're not alone. Nobody really knew which one he'd walk through.
So has he walked through them now? So those doors are down?
He's on the way
so it's 3 doors
he's
down?
He's on the way to be. Yeah. Nice.
Put that one in the Guggenheim.
Up your Guggenheim.
Oh, it's not, you say I lay it on thick when I come on, but there might be truthful, just pure appreciation to what I get to experience every day when I come on this show.
I think the great thing about George is he's already proven it. He proved it the other night because I used the word confidence that bad games, bad quarters, bad possessions, they don't matter anymore. We saw it. He played the worst game he's going to play all season the other night, and then he comes right back out and is right back to where he was. So that's why I use the word specifically with confidence to borderline cockiness now, which I want. I want all my players to be extremely confident to the point of cockiness. I'd rather have to rein them in rather than try to pump them up. His body language and everything about him, and it's not over the top. It's not, at least for me, just watching it on television, it doesn't look like it's, oh, look at me. No, it's look at me. Yeah, what are you looking at me for? What, you didn't think I could do this? Of course I can do this. And that's where the cockiness comes in, and that's why they've got something with him, and I believe they have a cornerstone.
I think there were a bunch of times over the last 2 years where he would do things where, honestly, my reaction was like, oh, stop. Don't celebrate. You're not there.
Right.
Or the celebration was enough that he didn't get back defensively on the other side. Or the celebration was, just in a way that bothered at least my sensibility of what we were supposed to be seeing. You haven't seen that this year at all. Like, you have not seen that at all.
Nope.
And I think the other one is how much his teammates respect him. I mean, he clearly worked so hard this offseason that he just garnered a ton of respect from everybody. His coach is Chris Jones, who's a really neat, interesting guy who's young. He played at the University of Pittsburgh under Jamie Dixon. And then instead of doing what everyone else did, which was to go pro and play in Europe or something, he was like, you know what, actually, I want to be a coach. And so he broke in to the Jazz film room. Vince LaGarza was the head of the hiring of that film room at the time, and Chris Jones just kind of sent a blind application out to their film room and got accepted into that staff at 22 years old. So he's now been an NBA coach for 7 years, around some of the better coaches in the league as a, and is now, working with Will and has been the one working with Keyonte. I mean, he and Keyonte are close. When Keyonte went to Finland and Paris last summer or summer before last, it was Chris Jones that went with him. Keyonte doesn't have a lot of people in his life that are going on that with him. And so Chris Jones is the one who went with him. And Ron Boone was talking to Chris Jones the other day and about their training, what they did this year. And what Chris told him is that they did every single workout for the entire off season as a full court drill. Every drill was a full court drill. So conditioning was as much as anything what they worked on this year with Keyonte to unleash him.
So as much as the game changes, the game stays the same because you are just channeling Jerry Sloan right there. When you talk about conditioning is the most important thing, build everything around conditioning. I just hear Jerry Sloan just screaming across the ages.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you can have an edge, any edge you can find, but if you're deficient, you see guys, right? You get tired and they pull it's a lot easier to pull, right? For three or a long jumper or you don't quite finish. Like you see tired all the time.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Keyonte George is done playing in the Summer League.
I think you're probably right. I don't think he'll play for the Stars this year either.
Oh, he'll play for the Stars. They're called the All-Stars.
Oh, look at you, PK. Look at you. Gosh, you are sharp today. What is going on? What do you got? Big plans this weekend? Heading to St. George? Heading down to Arizona? Get a little golfing? Get out of the snow? What are you fired up about?
Going to Dallas, actually.
Okay.
It's expansion of the Guggenheim. There's a whole wall to fill. There's an entire new wall to fill. He's just working on it, one painting after another.
You are on point today, Patrick Kinahan.
I am going to Dallas, and I'm going to watch the biggest upset we've ever seen. Who shot the Red Raiders?
Do they have a chance?
I really like George.
When BYU played Texas Tech last time, it was pretty one-sided, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Who
Any
else?
Personnel changes that make you think it won't be one-sided?
Maybe some better health for BYU. But they did make a ton of mistakes. Stuff that they traditionally and normally don't do.
Don't drop the punt in a scoreless game and give them a short field, and even though the defense holds, they take the lead. That's not them being really good. They're really good. They're number 3 in scoring offense. They're number 3 in scoring defense in the entire country. They're really good. So don't give them the ball at the 30-yard line because you drop it, for starters.
All right. I will try to keep an eye on it after I take my first turns of the year tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? When is it?
Yeah, it's tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Oh, all right. Oh, then I'll miss it for the start because I'll be making my first turns of the year tomorrow.
Do you think that time in the G League can rebuild a player's confidence at the NBA level? Taylor Hendricks looked like when he came back, he wanted to take the ball to the hoop, which is a good instinct. He didn't have a problem beating his guy. He had a problem finishing once he got there, but he didn't have a problem beating his guy. So I thought there was a level of aggression that was good. I don't know what to attribute that to. I wonder if you do.
I mean, I think both. I would suspect that between now, I might be overstating this, but between now and All-Star break, I would guess that Cody Williams and Taylor Hendricks' priority is G League minutes. And if you can get them 30-plus minutes every time you can, you should down there. For different reasons, but the same reasons. I mean, one, regaining confidence. Taylor's just got to be working with his body to get to believe in his body and get it all back together. But then also, frankly, neither Taylor nor Cody have shown all the skills they need to show as an NBA player yet. And so they need a place to develop them. And it's hard. You can't really work on skills in 8 or 9 minutes in the middle of an NBA game. It's way too hard. And so I think the Stars play the remix here coming up twice, and then they play the Valley Suns, and I think those are games that I would suspect that you see Cody and Taylor going down there, and I would suspect you see them playing, 30-plus minutes a night in G League games with the prior. And I would even, obviously we can't have where guys don't get on the floor. Like if you need their minutes in the NBA, you need to have them there. That's still your priority. But I would generally guess that if there's a choice of us having Kyle Anderson play 12 NBA minutes or Taylor Hendricks playing 12 NBA minutes, Taylor Hendricks should play 34 G League minutes instead.
For how long?
Till All-Star break.
Okay.
That's probably too long, but maybe not.
At this point, I'm looking for any signs of positivity out of him. Anything. Give me something. It feels like it's his second year, and the third-year jump for him is going to have to come next year because he just lost a year.
Right. I just don't think you should, and not you as one, I don't think any of us should be putting any expectations on Taylor until next year maybe, or maybe you want to see something by March. Like, basically, let's just go on the simplest terms. This is oversimplistic. But to some extent, what happened with Taylor Hendricks is what happened to Gordon Hayward and Paul George, right?
Yeah.
There's one major difference. Gordon Hayward and Paul George were all-stars at that point of their career. They had something to fall back on. Taylor had played 40 games of his NBA career, most of them kind of in that whatever funny season of March and April. And, if we're just perfectly honest, we don't know if he's any good. And he doesn't know if he's any good.
Agreed. Yeah. That's why I wonder when, you talked about Kessler and George, how they turned it on in the third season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but neither of them did any G League time. So I know G League time is better than no time, but is it realistic time in terms of, well, then when he gets to the NBA level, he can make a jump. If he gets to the NBA level after G League time, is it still starting over in a sense? See what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I think for Taylor, you're doing something. Taylor, the body's got to come back, right? Like, he's got to figure out that his body works again. He's got to just play. I don't know. I haven't talked to our medical team on this. This one just seems like intuitively obvious. Like, he started playing and then he had a hamstring problem, right? Like, his body's got to re-figure out how to work. It broke.
Yeah.
And is his gait completely the same? Is everything the same? Yeah, the strength and conditioning staff is working every minute of every day to try to see what they can do to make sure that that's the case. But I don't necessarily – you got to see him play. So I think on Taylor, playing 30 minutes and then coming back and playing 30 minutes and then coming back and playing 30 minutes is as much about trying to get your body right.
Sure.
Cody and then Cody and Taylor, it's also skill development, right? Like figuring out, okay, drive to the basket and how am I doing things and what are those are the things I think matter.
It reminds me a little bit of missionaries when they come back. You often see them come back, have a little bit of a flurry, and then get hurt, get a soft tissue issue or whatnot. And you talk to those guys, and you see that they're because they've been away in terms of activity at the highest level that you need for 2 years, obviously. And then they come back, and invariably something goes a little astray that sets them back, and then they got to work through that to get back. And it literally just takes time, and there's no other way around it.
And I haven't looked at, probably should, I haven't looked at Gordon Hayward or Paul George to kind of look at what they did because I feel like it's on one level. I've consciously not looked at it because I think it's an unfair comparison because of what we just talked about, but we probably could find something out about, did they both play 12 games and then they sit down for a little while? Or, I'll bet you we could learn something in regards to just what that process was trying to come back from a catastrophic lower leg injury.
David, we appreciate it as always. We'll free up a little time for you to go to the Guggenheim. I would prefer to walk the High Line. I think that's awesome. Maybe the weather's not good enough. I don't know. But
no, the weather's great. It's been fabulous. I think I'm going down to the West Village in Soho. But I need to prep back to back. I got to do some work on the next year, or have Claude do a lot of work for me.
We will hear you tonight on the call. Thank you, David.
That was like a modern joke, and neither of you reacted.
No, Yock said something to us. I didn't hear all of it, honestly.
I said, or have Claude do a lot of work for me.
Oh, nice. Nice. There you go. All right. Bravo.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
Thank you. David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz. Tim Brando's coming up talking Big 12 title game at the top of the hour. Stay with us.